Hello there, welcome back guys. This is Professor Roldan with Explorations in Math, section 10.1. This chapter is consumer math, and we're going to be doing lots of percents and decimals and loans and interest and things like that. So we're going to start with 10.1%, and this is mostly going to be a review. And the challenging part will be the word problem. So let's get started. So first of all, let's do a quick percent review. So for example, if you take a quiz in class, a little 5-question quiz, and you get 3 questions. I'm sorry, that's kind of too low. Let's do 4 questions right out of 5. So if you get 4 out of 5, is that an A? Well, anytime you get a score like this on one of your papers, you just need to take the part that you have correct divided by the whole, the total number of points, which will be 5 in this case. So if you do 4 divided by 5 in your calculator, you're going to get 0.80. Okay, that's not your score. That is a percentage, or the decimal. Okay, so we need to go ahead and move this to the right. So if we multiply by 100%, then all we need to do is just move the decimal to the right, and we get 80%. Okay, so no, that is not an A, that is a B. Okay, because actually, if you think about it, every question is worth 20 percentage points. Okay, so if you miss one, that's automatically a B. Okay, so you want to divide the fraction, get the decimal, and then move it to the right. What if we start out with a decimal? A percentage. So let's say something like this. 74.5%. We want to go ahead and divide by 100%. And this is going to give us, basically the decimal is going to move 2 places to the left. You want to drop that percent sign, and it's 0.745. Okay, and you can put zeros in the front if that helps you. Okay, 0.745, 0.80. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to be doing a lot of. But as you can see, we have some equations here. And in these equations, our word problems, we need to do something about all the numbers that are given, okay, the given information. So the book is going to actually want you to translate, and I'll kind of do a few of those like the book, but I'm going to focus on the part over whole, okay? And so part over whole, all right, that's basically what a fraction is. And so what we're going to be using is the proportion, which is 2 ratios that equal each other, that we're going to use to solve all of these problems. That's is over of. Okay, so that's like what we just did, 4 over 5. Okay, part over whole, and that's going to equal percent over 100. And there's our proportion. Okay, you need to remember that. So is over of equals percent over 100. So it says what is, so that's what we're trying to find out, the is. Okay, what is? We don't know that part. So if you're not sure what the x is, you can see, well, I have a percentage. That's going to go here. That's going to be over 100. And then the of number is 4,300. That is the total, or the whole. Okay, so that goes in the bottom. And so the is, so if you're not sure what the x is, if you fill in the 3 spots, you're going to see, okay, the only spot I have left would be an x right here. Okay, so to solve proportions, you need to go ahead and cross multiply. So cross multiplication looks like this. Okay, so the 100 is going to multiply times the x over here on the left side, and then the 4,300 is going to be multiplied by the 23. That's going to give us 98,900. Okay, and then you want to divide by 100, and then we get x equals 989. Okay, so 989 represents the part, and the whole was 4,300, and so if you divide those two, you can check it out. That's going to equal 23%. So if you want to do a check, 989 out of 4,300, does it equal 23%? And if you divide it, you get this. So yes. Okay. So the book is going to actually want you to translate this. So what will be x? Is equals. This is a decimal. Of means times. And then 4,300. So it's basically the same thing. But sometimes that could be confusing of how to set it up. So if you just want to do the proportion method the way I'm doing it, that would be just fine as well. Okay, so if you're going to do number 2, the way the book has it, it's 280 equals 0.65 times x. Okay, now let me do a dot this time. Okay, you can solve that. However, I'm going to do it the other way. Let me go ahead and do this on the side. So I'm running out of room. So, okay, why don't you try to put these, so you know this is always going to be over 100. So they're going to give you two more clues, okay, and see where you need to put those numbers. So go ahead and pause the video and try it, and then see if you have the right answer. Okay, so you should have 280 over x equals 65 over 100, because 280 is the is number, okay? And then the of number, we don't know, it's x. So that goes in the bottom. So we cross multiply. So 20,000 equals 65x. Divide both sides by 65. And so x is going to equal 430.77. Okay. And I believe the key is incorrect, which says 43,076.92 So it should be 430.77. Okay, so number 3 says what percent, so there's your x right there. So of goes on the bottom, is goes on top. Cross multiply, we have 54x equals 23. Oops. 100. And then divide both sides by 54. And we're going to get 42.59. Okay, so those are some of the sentences with percentages and trying to find a missing number. So let's talk about the word problems here, starting in number 4. Okay, number 4, here's another example of taking a quiz or a test. And so here are the results. So Bill got 12 out of 25 answered correctly. So we don't really have to do the proportion if we don't want to, because this is just a regular, convert a fraction. Okay, 12 questions out of 25 into a decimal. So we're going to get 0.48. As you can see, he did not pass. It's less than half. And of course, we're going to move the decimal over 2 places and get 48%. Okay, so that's kind of, if you have the fraction, you can kind of just do that. If you want to do the proportion, then you're going to have to do 12 out of 25 equals x over 100. Okay, you're going to get the same thing. So number 5 talks about what is a 20% tip on a restaurant bill of $23.89. So this is just a simple percentage of a number. So, and this happens a lot in the real world, is 20% of 23.89. So basically we're going to do 0.20 times 23.89. Just multiply those two together, and then we get $4.78. Okay, that is the tip. Okay. So just a quick tip on calculating tip. In restaurants, you can just, if you're going to do 20%, really all you have to do is, for quick math, you move this to the left. That would be 10%. And then you want to go ahead and do another one just like it. And that's your 20% right there. So we can, to make this easier to calculate, we can make these 40s. So round these up to 40s. So that's basically, you're doing this in your head, 480. Okay? And that'll be an estimate of 20% for quick calculations in the restaurant. Okay, number 6, the price of a pair of jeans is reduced by $15, which is 40%. What is the original price of the jeans? Okay, so this, let me clarify that this 40%, this is 40% of the original. Okay, 40% of the original, okay, is basically $15. So what just has occurred here is so we know we got our 40%. We know that that 40% represents $15. So $15 is the part of the whole. Okay, and then the whole, which is the original price, that's what we're trying to find. So this is saying $15 of the original price represents 40% of 100. Okay, and then we go ahead and cross multiply. Okay, 1500 divided by 40. And x is going to equal 37.5. And this is money, so $37.50. Okay, so if you want to check this to make sure this is right, you want to do, okay, what's 40% of 37.50? So you just put that in your calculator. 0.4 times 37.50, and we get 15. Okay, $15. Okay, number 7. This is basically 8 out of 70. Okay, so we don't have to do a proportion, we can just do the calculation of this decimal, which we can just round it to 11%. Okay. Number 8. So there's the percentage. This 3 is at the part or is at the whole? Well, it says hire 3 new employees due to growth in the company. This increased the staff. So that's definitely the part. And what's the original number? So that's your X. Okay, 3 new employees out of the original number of employees is going to equal 15%. And then cross multiply. Okay, so finish this one and see what you get. Okay, so you should have gotten 15x equals 300. Divide by 15, you're going to get x equals 20 employees total. Okay, let's take a look at number 9. Now, number 9 has 2 parts. It says, okay, you have a salary, getting a pay increase of 4%. How much is the pay increase? Okay, and B, what will be the new salary? So pay increase, don't put 4%. That is just how much in percentage, but it's not the actual increase. So this is a dollar amount. Okay, so we're going to do 4% of 45,000 That's going to equal 1,800. Okay? So that's the pay increase for the year. So the new salary is just going to be our old salary plus the pay increase. And that's going to equal 46,800. Okay? So that's it for the first page. Let's go to the second. All right, now we've entered the next section, which is on the next page for percent change. So percent change is basically, okay, how much did something change, and what is that? That's the part, and then compare that to the whole of what it used to be. So basically, what we have in percent change is, like in the book, we have the amount in the latest period, all right, and then you're gonna find the difference between the amount in the previous period. Okay, once you find the difference, you want to compare that difference to the amount in the previous period. Okay, so when it comes to numbers and word problems, I like to try to simplify this. So basically, if you want to remember it this way, the latest period is actually the newer number minus the previous number or the old number, and then you always divide by the old. Okay, and you're going to multiply that by 100%. Okay, so new minus old divided by old times 100%. Okay, so let's take a look at number 10. We had the price of a new car is $23,000. The auto dealer is running a weekend sale and is selling the car for $19,000. Okay, so this is a discount. Determine the percent decrease of the car. Okay, so this would be the new number, which is lower, and this is the old number. Okay, so percent change would be 19,000 minus 23,000, which that's the old number, and always divide by the old number. So this is a difference of $4,000. Comparing that to the original number or the old number, and we get negative 0.174, which is now negative 17.4%. Because we're going to move this decimal 2 places to the right. Okay, so the percent change is a negative percent, and now all that means is that we're matching this concept of the decrease. Okay, so the car dealership decreased the amount by 17%. Okay, so there is a 17.4% decrease. Okay, so there's my negative right there. So next we have the SCU baseball team won 22 games in 2013. In 2014 they won 30 games. Okay, what is the percent increase in number of games won? So the newer one would be 2014. Okay, so that would go first. Minus 2013, which is the older number. And now we get a positive difference. And you always divide by the old. If you divide by the new, you're going to get this wrong. So 30 minus 22 is 8. 8 divided by 22. 0.364, which is 36.4%. Okay, so the baseball team increased their games won from one year to the next by 36.4%. Now let's take a look at some textbook problems. Okay, so the first problem I would like to look at would be number 24. And number 24 is about potassium. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's recommended daily allowance, the USRDA, of potassium for adults is 3,500 milligrams. So daily potassium allowance. That's 3,500 milligrams. One serving of Cheerios provides 95 milligrams of potassium. So Cheerios, it's 95 milligrams. So the question is, what percent of the USRDA of potassium does one serving of Cheerios provide? So in other words, what percent is this number compared to the whole number? So this is simply a fraction. 95 milligrams over 3,500 milligrams. What percent is that? Okay, what portion is that? So all we got to do is divide. Okay, so we're actually just doing part over whole. We don't need to do anything fancy. If we don't want, 0.027, which is going to be 2.7%. Okay. So all we did was use the part over whole. Okay, I would like to also look at number 25. Number 25 is about reduced fat milk. One serving of whole milk contains 8 grams of fat. So whole milk has 8 grams of fat, and then reduced fat milk contains 41.25% less fat. So this is going to have 41.25% less, okay, than whole milk. So what we need to do is, first of all, find out how many grams is 41.25%. So we want to do our 8 grams of whole milk times that by 0.4125, and that's going to equal 3.3 grams. So basically it's saying it has 3.3 grams less than the whole milk. So we got to take the whole milk, subtract the 3.3 grams, and we're going to get 4.7 grams is what the grams of fat that the reduced fat milk has. Okay, so that one's a 2-step problem. Step 1 and step 2. And lastly, I would like to take a look at number 55. 55 basically is about taxes and tip. Now, according to the original tipping page, www.tipping.org, I recommend you go there to learn about tipping if you're not sure and how much and why and all that. So this is appropriate to tip waiters and waitresses 15 to 20% of the pre-tax restaurant bill. Okay, so it's 15 to 20%. Okay. Standard service will be 15 and excellent service will be 20 or more. Okay. So the Leesburg's dinner costs $43.50 before tax, and the tax rate is 6%. Okay. So A says, what is the tax? So the tax is going to equal 0.06 times our bill. And that's going to give us $2.61. Okay, so that has to be added to the bill. Next question for number 55 is, if the Leesburgs decide to tip 15% of the pre-tax bill, how much is the tip? So basically that's going to be 0.15 times the pre-tax bill, and that's going to equal $6.53. Okay, so we have the tax, we have the tip. So now what the question is, what is the total bill? Or the total cost. So the total is going to be basically dinner plus tax plus tip. So $43.50 plus 2.61 plus 6.53. Add these all up and we get $52.64 total. Okay. So, as you can see, it is somewhat expensive for a budget to eat out because you're paying a lot of money for the food compared to if you bought it in the grocery store or cooked it yourself. So you're buying food, and then we gotta add tax and tip to that, which can make these charges add up in your account. But in any case, this is some of the problems on 10.1. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember to watch these videos and to take notes, even for the problems from the textbook, which I will ask you on the notebook quiz. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.